All right. Hey, good. Well, it's evening for me, so good evening. Thanks for joining on this stream where I'm going to keep working on this rhyming dictionary project I've been working on. I did quite a bit of work with it last week, and next week I'm going to be traveling, so I won't even be able to continue the project next week, but we did a lot of work on like just using server actions to get like our we can favorite words now, which is great. I'll eventually want to be able to render that into the user dashboard, so that's to come tonight. I'll be working on that, as well as I do think that what we did was we just took the text of the rhyming word and put it into through the server action, and then it got put into a PayloadCMS field that was just text with a has many field. Has many option. And so what I'm going to do instead is tonight live change that to a relationship field. So it makes more sense. And then when I want to render it as a table for the user, I can use a component or a component library to do that. So that's the plan. I also wanted to experiment with intercepting routes. Never used them before, but I got curious as I was working on the search plugin for PayloadCMS tutorial that I'm working on. It's like, is it possible to get it as a modal? So I do want to take a look at that, but I do think we'll start with getting our favorites as a relationship field. So why don't we jump in? We can start thinking about this here, I need to change my directory here. I guess. Can I just do a new terminal? Will that get me into the right place? Yes, it will. All right, so let's go ahead and just run pnpm dev. All right, so that's going to load up. We're going to go, and I can just show you what I was talking about in the admin panel, where we just have a text has many field or a has many text field. Either way it works. And what that's going to do here, we have words. That's right. Nope. I'm looking for customers. So this customer has these favorites here. So I do think that needs to change. So we can go to our customer config, which should be here. Yes. And then I'm going to change this to be relationship. I think has many by default is true, and we'll just do relation to word. I believe it's words, not words, is it? Nope. Okay. So now if I save this and refresh over here, of course, favorites isn't going to work, but I should be able to. Nope. So I need to do has many and set that to true. Yep, there we go. So now we have, oh, did this find the, nope, it did not. All right, so first what we should do is, so what I want to do, since this is actually what I want, doesn't matter what order it's in, I'm just going to copy this and then go back and clear out this field. That way I don't have any errors. I can save this. And then go ahead and give it a paste. Cool. So now we have our favorites, and I should be able to select many, which I can. Great. So we're going to go ahead and save this because obviously that's not how we want to handle this. So I'm going to log in. Hopefully I can remember the login and password for this. I do know the login name. I assume. Weird that background's doing that, but is it? There we go. All right, so now I'm logged in. I can go to my home page and I can search for home should be a word, I think. Can I refresh that? That was kind of weird. All right, so motion's being a little weird too. What are the issues? hydration issue. I'm sure there's just something weird going on. But now if I select this, oh, nothing's gonna happen because I need to update my add favorite to not just making sure I still have a connection here. Looks like I do. Okay, so we need to change this from what I'm sending. So our form data, we're actually, so we get word, and then this is going to be as let's see. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. All right, so everything's working. Sorry, it looks like for some reason I have tech issues, but I don't actually have tech issues. Weird. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I need this to actually be as Word. Interesting. So let's think this through. I need to go then to our words. Add favorite. Oh, here we go. Add favorite. And our value is going to be word. And so that means I'm passing down. So first, let's set this to be a word. And then I need to go up a level to, I believe it's going to be this here. And in the word cell, we're going to pass in our favorites. Where is favorite? User favorites includes target word. We're going to look for the ID instead. Target word, query word by slug. And if, oh, that's the target word, that's fine. So is favorite. And then we're getting our favorites down here. Type word is not assignable to string. It should be here. Favorite should be word. And this actually would be a string of words as well, I believe. Word dot ID. Oh, this can just be ID. Well, no. Yes. I'm gonna have to change a few things, it seems. So if I do ID, assignable to type word. Okay, so let's take this one line at a time here. So we're here at the most basic, which is, oh, I don't need it to have, okay, sorry. All right, so down here at the word cell, we have our add favorite, and it's going to pass in a word. And that's what I need. So here though, type string is not assignable to type word. So I really should be working just with the ID that's coming from this word. So if we're going to have our favorites here, so I can do favorites dot, oh wait, favorites. So here, so this should be the word, yes. Okay, argument of type string is not assignable to parameter of word. So that tells me then I actually need the full word and not just, this is the, okay, this is a naming thing that I messed up. So I should change this to word. And then this is going to be word.slug. Word.word. .id. I wonder if I can actually do... No, it's not worth trying to do. And then I can do word... Wait, no, favorites, because that's coming from the user, right? Regardless, okay. Contains words. Word. So remove favorite is expecting a string, but it should get an object. And then here you want value. Yeah, so this needs to be word.id. And then the same would be true here, where we're just passing in the ID value of the word. And then favorites, this needs to be, oh, again, down here. Let me adjust this right quick. All right, so if I go to add favorite, it has our favorites. But I don't see favorite here. What is this here for then? Because add favorite just takes the word. So do I even need this? We'll find out in a second. So if I take care of that, everything should be fine there. Now if I come here, our favorites here in the word cell is going to be word, okay? And then our favorites come from the user. I should be able to do as word, but I think I need to import that. Okay, so that type issue is fixed there. So now if we go to our word cell, we then have our if the favorite is included, it should show, or if it does not include the word, it should add, it should show me the add favorite button, and if not, it should have remove favorite. So if I reverse this, yep, there we go. So now if we go to our add favorite, and then we need to go into our add favorite action, we have our favorites. And then does this need to be, so word, get word as string. All right, let's give this a shot. What should happen is I click this and we see successfully added to favorites. For some reason, okay, so I'll need to figure out why. I don't see that that is a favorite. And then we can come over here to remove favorite. And the validate path is still there, so that should be fine. And then now if I click this again, successfully added to favorites still. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up a separate window for Chrome. Okay. Back to dashboard. All right, so our customers, we pull this up. All right, so I see that I do have this word as a favorite. So now we need to figure out why don't I see it as a favorite. So that's going to be a word cell thing. And so I need to look into what I get back for favorites and what I get back for the word here. So let's start with favorites. Let's log our favorites. All right, and I should get 2 documents of shadow. So then I can check favorites includes let's bring this down here. I don't think this is going to work. I need to use, yep. Let me just switch this real quick to this, then return. All right, and then let's see if we get true back. We get false. So what am I getting back for word? So if I do word ID, am I missing it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So we get our word ID. And so now I need a way to compare this to what I get from my favorites. And so in that case, we want to go to our page here. And instead of passing in our favorites as an array of words, we are still going to do a string, but we want to make sure that we don't get let me do word as word props just to get this taken care of, just in case I do need it. So for our favorites, we only want the ID. So in that case, we can come here, and if we just set depth to 0, okay, so it can't be 0, I need it to be 1, and then though I can select we can do, what is it, favorites, oh, I'm looking for the user. All right, so we get our shadow. We already know that clicking it works. So from our favorites, user favorites includes, oh, so that's is favorite will show up there. Yeah, so we have a star, yeah, okay. And that's the only place I use is favorite, right? Yes, okay. So then we need to look at here, the favorites. We are passing in our word props, it appears. So if we go to our word cell, we can get our favorites. So if we do our favorites and our word. So oh, can I just do I don't know if a filter is going to work here. If I could filter for just the word and return the ID for just that word. Should work. Let's find out. Filter, I can do fave.id. That's word.id. And of course, if it's undefined, whatever. What happened? That's the word ID. Okay, let's just choose the first. I'll make this neater later. Okay, so then what I need to do is compare this filtered out value to our word ID. First, I need this to not, I mean, it can be an array. I'm only going to take the one value. I don't know why though. If I just wanted the ID, oh, maybe I can just, let me do a log console.log. All right, and so now thank you. If this is impressive. All right, so now if I can do includes word.id, will this equal true? It won't, but let's put this, wait, include word. So we have, first of all, we should not have two words here that are the same. So let me fix that real quick. Let's just add the one, add that back. Okay, so now if we refresh this, we should only get one back. And I think the problem here is that favorites is expecting a word, but maybe it should be, again, a string of or an array of strings. We'll fix out that other type issue later. So I think, so favorites, I just need the ID from our favorites. So we're passing down though our words. So what if I did instead a map of this And then we'll just do, we are going to use the array, so we are going to use a map. We're just going to take our favorites and bring back our ID. Oop. And then we want to do this as word props. Excuse me. Oh, that's right. I always forget that it used to be word props in parentheses there, I think. Man, the types always get me. All right, cool. Now, why does an ID exist on it? Okay, let's just do the check differently then. Faves, type of faves does not equal string. All right, again, need to think this through. So, I don't want this to be, this needs to be our word props. All right, so what is this saying? So type string is not assignable to type word. But, oh, okay. All right, so let's just not worry about types right now. Let's just get it working. So we know that our favorites has an ID because it's currently as a word. But, well, hold on first. So our user.favorites. Here, we could do this. So we've got our user up there, and so we could do our favorites equals user.favorites as word props. Then down here, we have our user favorites map. Oh wait, and then we can do instead our favorites. There we go. We'll see if that actually works though. All right, so then we pass it down to our favorites, which is, so this should come back as an array of strings. And we can test that by logging our favorites, which should only have one string. Tired of this error here. All right, and so yes, we have one string. And now we can take our favorites, and instead of filtering it, we just need to check that word ID exists on our favorites array. And we get true. There it is. All right, so now we can get rid of this. And we can add ID here. can add ID here and here, which means that we don't actually need the full word anymore. So we'll switch this back to a destructured constant, or I guess just destructured in general. But then for add favorite, we're no longer expecting a word. We just need a string, because bringing in the ID, which means that we don't need that because we've got the ID, and do the same thing here because we just need our string. So a little bit of a roundabout here, but we got there. So we can add back in ID. We can add in slug and word. And so now we can get rid of all of this. And all that should be good. So we will, I don't need to switch this back from return. I'll just leave it like that. Oh, and there we go. Now it works as anticipated. And now I can select it again. It says removed from favorites, but it does not appear to have actually removed it from the favorites. So let's bring that back. So if I go to my remove favorites, and then let's check in here and refresh real quick. The favorite actually did get removed. So that's good. And the path should have been revalidated. One thing that's bothering me that I want to fix real quick is whenever I hover over our add favorite star, we don't get any kind of indication. So I'm just going to change this to cursor pointer. Oh, and then I need to do the same thing over here. Cursor pointer. There we go. And then that way we can even add to our word cell really I should do a border. So I'll do class name, border left 2. Oh, I meant that as border right. And then I guess it's a padding right 2. Probably do 1, and then border R violet 950, and we can just do that there. Right 2, maybe 4 instead. That looks a little bit better, I guess. And then if we want to go to here, I don't have, I guess I have a gap, so let's take down the gap. There we go. That feels better. And then we, maybe 2 is better. There we go. Then I wonder if in add favorite, we could do a background of violet, I don't know, like 400. Let's see what background that actually does. Nothing. I was gonna try and do like a 2-tone thing for this button, but I think this is fine. But I wonder if I can do hover. Just, I want to see. Well, since the whole thing gets hovered, then no, of course not. Which then also means I need to do a hover on this, because it's just not seeable. We can just do 50 and probably not any opacity there. There we go. But now, so if I select this, it says successfully removed, but then it doesn't actually show that there. So what I need to do is check then. If I do remove favorites, word as string, add favorite, word as a string. I know that the functionality is actually working, so that's promising. But, oh, here we go. We'll see if this, I mean, this shouldn't have mattered because it actually worked. Oh, I need to change where that hover happens. Successfully removed. All right, well, if I let's do a payload logger. Do I even have payload in here? I do, okay. But I think I actually need the rec object, which I don't think I have brought in. Oh, logger info. So now if I click this, removed undefined. So for some reason though, well, I hope what it's not doing. So let's go to the home page. Let's actually go to the search page. So we have this here. If I select this and I select this, so that worked just fine. That's great. All right, so if I refresh, I have a couple of words that get selected. But now if I select have, it says successfully removed, but removed was undefined. And if I come back here, okay, so no, it didn't get rid of everything. I was afraid that it was just going to delete everything. So that tells me then there's an error here. So we want to filter out our item by ID. The problem here is we're looking again at our favorites. And so we're gonna make this easy again since I'm already looking at my user. Is this an add favorite? No, it wouldn't be. Here we go. All right. So we've got our favorites. They're going to be word props. We're going to come to our remove favorites. We've got our user here, and we're going to get our favorites. And then I'm only getting the ID. So what should happen then is after I refresh this, I didn't really need to do the favorites thing there, but it's helped me think. Now if I select that, perfect, there we go. All right, that's all working now. So now I can add as many favorites as I want. And then after I take a quick detour to check out if I'm able to, instead of having the search be a route, I want to see if I can do an intercepting route. But it is nice to see, if I go back to the home button and then search for home, I can see shadow is still there. Oh, let me fix this border real quick. Was it in the word cell? It was. So it's only if I hover over the this isn't going to work like I want it to. I've got to think a little bit harder about how I want this to be, but we could just do this to be like 400 instead. Yeah, so it gives a little bit of a separation there and it works both in light and dark. Okay. I should also add the functionality there, but that'll wait a second too. Okay, so we do have our star, both for favorite and not favorite. And I think that's what we needed to get to here. I don't think I have any type errors, which is very nice. So we're set. Let's take a quick detour into the world of intercepting routes. So again, I have not done this before. I'm very interested to see if this is going to work. So what I have done is I asked, a little bit of AI here to see if I could figure this out. But what we can do is we have, all right, so we already have in here, we have our search route, which is great. That's what we need. But what I might want to do is we're going to go to our front end. So what I might need to do first is in front end, add a new directory, and we're going to call this one our search group. And then we're going to add another new directory, which is going to be search. And then in here, we're going to do another new directory, which is going to be our modal. And then within this, another new directory, which will be search. I really need to fix this because I think this is... Wait, do I even have this? I don't even have blocks. Where is this coming from? Do I have blocks? What is this? Front end slug here. So I only have the home page. Payload's not even being used here. Let's see if I just delete this, does it break anything? Don't recommend doing that. All right, so now if I go back to the home page, oh, I've got contact. Duh. All right. Okay. All right, so that means then I'll have to think through. Well, let's try this. We'll do directory and we'll just do a pages directory and throw the slug in there. And then I think I need to throw the home page in there as well. So let's see, all this should still work. Great, it does. We can go to contact, we can go to home. Perfect. All right, so back to what I was doing. So we have our search directory, and then we can add a new file and do page.tsx. And now here, we'll want to, it says wrap the app with a layout that includes a modal slot using a parallel route. So I should just be able to use my base layout. Oh, and I did this. So let me do it. Okay. What we'll do is we've got our props. Okay. And then we can add our modal, which will be, if I can type, React node, pull out our modal, and then I guess just below our children, or before the closing body tag, we can add our modal in there. Now in our modal page.tsx, which is up here, this feels clunky. I wonder if I could actually, here, let's go to the NextJS docs, and we're gonna look up intercepting routes, just to make sure this pattern is right. So, and am I even like saying the right thing? Yeah, so we have our so I think what I might need to do is, so it's under feed. We have, so just following this example, we have our own thing here and then search. Okay, so that just makes it possible to do the search, and then it's modal, and then it seems like under modal I need to add so I think we just need to try some things first, but this I think needs to be refactor, rename. I think it needs to do that. If we can refactor that. Oh wait, no. Well, maybe. We'll see here in a second, because I think... Let's just try stuff first. Let's try the example I have right now, though. So, let's just take a quick copy here. Again, don't recommend doing that. And then fallback full page, I already have that. And then trigger the modal. So if I go to my nav, which is where our magnifying glass is, we've got our search there. Is this use client? It's not, and it can't be. So what we'll do is we're going to create a new file, which is going to be our modal trigger.tsx. We'll do add and then copy and paste from this because this looks right. Instead of that, though, we'll do our search icon. We'll work on styles later. This, I'm just experimenting, trying to make things work. Export, and then we can bring in, instead of this, we're just going to comment that out, and we can do our open search button, which I don't think that imported. I hate when it does this like long import when it can just be that. All right, so now if I save this, hopefully nothing breaks. If I click on it, it brings me to the search page, which is fine. So, all right, so now here we can start experimenting. If we refactor, rename, go to our home page. All right, so that's a no. Let's try then 2 levels up. Home and then okay. So I might need to work on the structure here for a minute. So I think we got our slot right. So I think the root layout is correct. So what I think the issue that I'm running into is we have our search route here. All right, so we're thinking that it needs to go up just one is all it needs, because we go refactor rename. Since modal is a slot, that means we're going up one level, and then this should be on the same level as search, which actually then so this is 3 file systems lower, but what if I just, let's move you here. And instead of this, let's delete you. And then rename, because it should just be at the same level now. Still nothing. Well, unless, so let's go look at our modal in the first place. Yeah, so if I open this up, like that's not right. Okay. All right, so well, I wonder, so do if I drop it in here, delete this, and we have our search with our modal, which then puts this at the same level. Yes. Then we refresh. And it still pushes me to the actual search page, which is not what I'm looking for. All right, I've got an AI assistant. Help me create a modal in NextJS for my search route. Let's see what Claude can do for me here. Trying to incorporate a little bit more AI in my workflow, just as like a, you know, a pair coder rather than like a replacement. But we're gonna see how this does. So I am going to do a bunch of copy and paste just to get this working, and then we will figure it out from there. All right, so we need to move our modal to the app. Refactor. Oh, I should actually probably move it to my front end folder rather. I have the modal slot already. This is essentially the same thing, so that looks good. I did this. I already have a search results page. All right, so now if we go to our modal component, we're going to copy this, and we're going to go to our, don't need those, don't need pages, need modal. All right, so we're gonna go to our modal, page.tsx, that was already there. We have an error. I don't know why we have motion. Oh, so this needs to be motion react. It probably adds a little bit of motion to incorporate it. All right, and then we have our intercepting route, so we need to rename this to not have anything there. And then in app modal search, page.tsx, that's just this. I think I'm okay not to create a separate file for this, I guess. So that one, okay, whatever. What file does this say for this? Okay, and then we have our search modal that came in here. I wonder if I just need to, let's create one thing at a time. Let's go to our components. And we're going to do our, just do a new directory and do a modal. And then we'll do file component.tsx. This is our search modal, and so now we will do this. Search modal should be app components, front end components. Yeah, that's right. Or it should be. All right, so then we'll do components. Okay, maybe not. So components, modal, component. Weird. Okay, so then we've got that. And then we already have our slot. We have this trigger, which should do that. And then we added it in there, and we have our search page.tsx. All right, so now if I go home, let's refresh. Still just pushes me straight to so I have some fundamental misunderstanding of how this is supposed to work. So let's start from the beginning here. So I just took this component wholesale, so which is a good one. Better accessibility, okay, whatever. That's great. Set up intercepting routes for the modal. So we have our app and then our modal and our search are on the same level here. So modal and search are on the same level, and then it's modal search page.tsx, same thing here. Then we go to our app modal page.tsx, which that's not quite right, I don't think. Front end pages page. Okay. Wrong. Okay, so then we go to our app modal search page.tsx. When I open this, we have our search modal. And then we have this done. So if I go just to check out our layout, we see our modal. And then we're going to create a search trigger component, which should be in our nav. which I never remember where I put it. Components, nav, I should really move these. We've got our modal trigger. Okay, and then add the search trigger to your navigation header. So we've got our nav bar, got our search button. So I wonder if that's actually why that didn't work at first. So it's still not a modal. Okay, what am I missing? The modal isn't popping up, but I get pushed to my search route. AI doesn't get you all the way there. Okay, so you didn't tell me that the first time, but let's go ahead and try this. That's correct already. I already have that. Okay, so if I go to contact, no, let's refresh. Okay, I'm definitely doing that. All right, so the last thing to try here is putting it into the app directory, which should not matter, but we're going to try it. Well, we can't try it because if we do that, then we have conflicting with our payload, but maybe we don't. So let's just give it a shot. Oh, yeah, don't do that. That's back. But search is not back. Oh, don't need that. Did I break my search page? That'll be disappointing. But I could also, if that's, my front end does have the layout.tsx. That is correct, so that should be right. I don't want it to be out on the app level. All right, let's give this a couple more minutes before moving on to working on some dashboard stuff. Okay, if I go to search, search is back, that's good. But search is still not a modal. I do actually like how this is set up better. Thank you, Claude. Though it looks like a, well, we'll see. Because we have our modal, we have our search. If we go here, do right, do left. I would like to see on this page. Oh, that's not what I wanted. All right, so okay, so just to see, I don't think this has anything to do with it, but we can do default.ts and we can export default function default, return null. Auth page.tsx. We got a search modal here. I don't know, man. I feel like it shouldn't be this difficult to do this. Let's try one more time. The modal isn't popping up. Let's ask ChatGPT about it. Correctly to show a modal. This is going to be the last thing that I try with this. Including the modal slot. Okay, there's a modal directory right there. Search page. Full search page and a layout.tsx. All of that is correct. All right, so we go here, search modal. Oh wait, I'm actually looking for components here, nav, modal trigger. We are getting push to the search on click, so that's right. Can I not use modals in route groups? All right, while that's waiting, I'm going to, oh, there we go. Well, I guess still while it's typing, I want to do, there are some specific instructions that need to be followed to get shad cin, I assume that's how you say it, working, but I also want to see, is there like a table? Yes, so let's see what these tables look like. this is what I have done. That's cool with me. You separate layout for that row group. That's okay with me. All right, so let's ask, can I use modal slots in NextJS route groups? You get so many different conflicting information from all of these different sources. I wonder if I have here, can you give me great at coding and visual reasoning? Isn't there like a coding? I thought so, but maybe not. Parallel routes. All right, I may have to dig into this a little bit differently. Example of NextJS 15 modal. See what Gemini gets me. Okay. Let's, we'll come back to this. I do want to try and get it. I think I have everything, like, component-wise that I need. There's just something missing, and I don't know what it is. There's got to be something with, like, this. So what if I do... just to see. Yeah, I didn't think so, but still. Okay, so that's definitely not right. We got search. Search is in the modal slot. Search is at the same level here. We have our true search path. This should be intercepting with this search modal. I mean, one other thing we can check just real quick is instead of doing that, let's just paste it in directly. Home, refresh. Is that an error that I've been getting all this time? Yes, okay, so then if I hit this, yeah, cannot read properties of undefined, reading 0. Page search. So, undefined. I wish that was a more helpful error. Cannot read properties of undefined. So I wonder if it's something in how my modal is being used. What if I just did, just to see. Let's again just comment all this out. I want to export our default function, which should be search modal, right? I guess it doesn't really matter. and I just want to return an h1. Let's just test. I didn't even consider that maybe the component was the issue. Does not appear to be so. Why am I getting this error? And then while that's reviewing, so if it's my search page, okay, so we'll see if this works. So let's go to our remove favorites.ts. I think that's the only place that needed to change. I don't think that's going to be the error, so I don't know why it brought up. I don't think it's going to be this. I think it's going to be in the search. Okay, so that's not even going to get me close to what. Okay, so in the search, you're destructuring, yes. If search params promise is undefined, does contain these properties, this could cause issues. How can I fix the error on the if it's in the search routes search params? Okay, really that's the last thing I'm going to ask it. So let's go over here. We want to look at our table options here. It looks like we just have one table, which is fine. We should be able to use the CLI, but we do have some setup to do here. So I'm going to set this up as soon as we read this through. This is a lie. Search parameters does need to be a promise now. In fact, synchronous will be soon deprecated. Thereabouts. Oh, I don't even want a page, so let's get rid of that. That's not even being used anyway. Could do constant query, await search params, promise, queue, or an empty string. And then ensure words exist. Okay, sure. That seems logical. I'm cool with that. And then we've got our search, and then here we can then change this out to be has results. Also seems logical. Cool with that. All right, so let's try this route interceptor one more time. Refresh. Still get an error, and that's okay. That's enough troubleshooting here for now. I do want to try this again, but I think I might have to take it to a more simple example before actually trying this. Right now I'm trying to implement it into like an actual project, and that just doesn't seem wise. All right, so we need to do a few things here for our shadcn. So let's go ahead and add it. Yeah, see, okay, so I do have Tailwind installed, but hold on. You can test using the Canary release. See the framework specific guides, doc installation. I guess, do I do Canary? Yep. Well, this was unhelpful. This is not breaking your existing apps. You can test Tailwind 4 and React 19, which is what I want to do. This isn't going well anymore. This went well for the first part of it. So maybe I need to search a little bit more. Okay. If you're starting a new project with Tailwind 4, use the Canary version of the command line. All right. Yes, I did, Luis. Thanks for, or Luis. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Yeah, so just going back, you know, I actually really want to figure this out because I feel like I'm almost there. So we have our modal search page, yes. And then in our layout, we do have our modal right here. So that's where I'm getting confused that I have everything. I have this all how I think it's supposed to be. So that's why I'm confused here. But what I might want to do instead, let me go to my, I've got a, is this going to be easy to do? Probably not. Well, I guess I could do an example. Okay, so let's go. Let's do this window. Here we are being a little distracted, but that's okay. So here we've got, this is just a practice project. So here if I do a new directory, we call it search, and we do a new page.tsx, that's export default function called search page, return search page. So then in our app, we can add another new directory. We can call this one modal. Then we can add another new directory called search. And then in here, we can add our page.tsx. Then in our layout, we're going to add our modal. And then we can do our modal React node. And so this is taking out all of the complexity from that last project, and we're adding it there. Within our modal, we'll add a default.ts. We will export default function default, and we're going to return null. And then in here, we're going to export default function, search modal. We're going to return a div, class name. I don't think I actually have Tailwind installed in this project, but so we'll do h1 search modal. This should be a modal. And then we need a way to trigger this. So we will just go to our home page, and we're going to add a single link, not even a link. We'll return a button that has on click. Use router. Not what I wanted to do. Use client. Import use router. Constant router equals use router. And then we can do router dot push search. So now if we run pnpm dev, do localhost, All right, so now this is a different error, so that's cool. An application side error occurred. I want to make sure that that's not actually the error that I'm getting. Refresh. Okay, search. Browser console. Undefined is not an object. All right, so let's make sure I didn't skip a step. New window, we got our search modal, page, default, TS. And so this is it at the app level. And all of this should be right. Very interesting here. But then if I go to our search route, we get our search page. So I come here. I don't really need all of that stuff, but we'll leave it for now. All right. On-click, router push to search. All right, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look a little bit more deeply into this. I don't think it's this, but let's give it a shot. Maybe Safari just doesn't support it. Nope, not Safari. All right, so before I call it quits, I want to at least get somewhere with this. The problem though is that I can't use the CLI to do it, because if I run this, I get that there's no TailwindCSS configuration found, which is fine because Tailwind version 4 doesn't need a configuration. So that's the part that's getting me here. All right, so instead of you can configure all your customization directly in the CSS file where you import Tailwind, giving you one less file to worry about in your project. Yes, I know that. All right, fine. I know there is hand stack table instead. I just need a table. That's all I want. So let's see what I need for this. Okay. Get our table. Okay, table is still, oh, let me do, instead of that, let's do pnpm, add. Now, how do I use it? Okay, we are using React. Q. You know, before we get into all of this junk, why don't we just get data rendering? So I am going to delete that. Okay. It looks like I have most of what I need for ShadCN anyway. All right, so let's go to our dashboard. So in our accounts, in our auth, we will have our dashboard page, and in our user, we're going to get our favorites. So I should be able to go back to our login route, but first, I need to restart our server here. All right, and so now we want to get our constant of favorites. This should be as word. And then under our update account and above reset password, honestly, this would probably go into a different area anyway, but we can just add it here for now. So we're going to do another div, and then we can add not H1, but H2. Sure. Let's see what this gets us. All right, great. So we have a good start here. I could start styling a table, but I would rather not at this moment. But what we could do instead is just let's just make a row. So we have our div, and then in this row we will have a paragraph, which is probably not the best that I want anyway. So I can have word, and then I can do pronunciations dot, is there a way to count? Oh, length. What am I doing? And then I can do pronunciations, map, pronunciations, and I can do syllables dot map, not map, length. And then I can do join. Class name, flex, justify between. Oh, look at that. It kind of looks like a table. Again, we're not creating a table quite yet. I'm just getting data generated. But what I can do, if I want to search, I can look for, well, it's a different error. Oh, it can only be used in that route group. Okay. Oh. What? Alright, well. It works, just not as intended. Alright, so we need to work our way to figure that out real quick, which honestly should just be removing the modal. And this is not something I'm going to forget to do. I mean, that looked nice. If I do search from here, oops. Dang it. If I go home first and then search. Yeah, like I like that a lot. But it won't let me switch to the two dots. It keeps coming back with they're on the same level. So I think the problem is actually, yes, in my file structure, because what's happening is it doesn't let me get to the search page. And then this isn't even what I want anyway. I would want to actually have the same search here. But like if I go to this, if I go to the search page, it works just fine. If I hit escape to close, it brings me back to the dashboard. So all that's cool. I would like to do that later. Can I just move it to source for now to not have to worry about it? And I can go to search again. Dang, man. All right, so I've got to delete that. Breaking everything. I see it right there. Just let me get it back. So I guess I just need to go here. Place that with this. Get rid of the modal. modal trigger. This is all AI generated anyway. So I can definitely get it back, no problem. Get rid of the modal. Put you back into the front end because you were working there. Page. Page slug title. This wasn't an issue before, but let's go here. Just let me search. All I want to do is search. And this shouldn't matter. Home. Okay, so let's bring you guys back up to the front end level. Perhaps. All right, let's refresh the server here for a minute. I think I broke everything, which is quite unfortunate. Let's go ahead and refresh. All right, we're back in good shape. Compromise. Oh, I want to save this one. So compromise has a couple of different, oh wait, no, it's comfortable that I want. There we go, comfortable. We gotta fix that. But now if I go back to our dashboard, we have comfortable, which will then have two different, has two pronunciations and then syllable count for each pronunciation. That's all I wanted to do just then. So I think this is a decent place to stop. Not exactly what I wanted to do, because I would actually like to, the modal ended up working somewhat, but I think it's just how the project is set up. So I do think I need to just review that a little bit more and see if it's something that I can actually do. Part of it is definitely how the project is structured, but I do think there are ways around it. So that I just need to figure out. And I deleted all of them. So not the end of the world, because I just used AI to generate it anyway. So we'll figure that out later. But yeah, so we're getting our table together. I do want to figure out how to get shadcn working, because I don't want to be making a table by myself without a component library. So I'll get that up and running as well. But we did, honestly, and actually one last thing we'll do. In the dashboard, the reason, other than having a couple of different other stats, not stats, things that come across for our table here, so we have more columns. The main reason I wanted to bring this over is that now we could add, instead of this being a paragraph, we can add our link, and it can be an href to be, I think it's word, and then I can do word.slug. And now we can go to any of these and they show up. We could even add a, I guess it would be just our remove favorite word.id. And so now I would be able to remove shadow and there it goes. Like it's just away now. But I can go search for it again, just right there, all right, this is gonna be easy, so I'm gonna do this too. I need to, in our word, we have our star here. The star actually needs to be our favorite. So we have our is favorite. So we can check is favorite, and if it is, we can remove favorite, target word. Otherwise, we can add favorite, target word. And that all needs to be our ID. And this needs to close here. Oops. Remove favorite, target word ID. Oh. So I can change, I need to change the size as well, but now I can save this, I thought. But, so let's add shadow. If it's favorite, we can remove favorite. Otherwise, we want to successfully add it to favorites. So if I go to our dashboard, home is there a couple of times. And then it goes away for all of them. All right, well, either way, well, no, I need to figure that out. So if we go to banana, if it's the favorite, user favorites includes target ID. Okay, that is the problem. It's because our favorite has changed. So it's no longer that. It's I need to go to our word cell, and we have our, oh, it's not even here. It's in our add favorites, right? Not quite. It's here. So this actually needs to be favorites includes target word. I mean, I can test that this works. Yeah, all right. So I know we need the remove favorite. We need the ID for both of these, yes. So something is going on with is favorite. So favorites includes target word. I mean, that shouldn't be it. Didn't think so. So where we're getting our here. It's down here. We have our favorites, and we're mapping our favorites to our word cell, which then checks in that through the array. Okay. User favorites as word props is favorite. Okay, so log is favorite is false. I log my favorites. We get compromised there. All right, so then we can get our favorite IDs. Perfect. Favorite IDs equals target word ID. Oh, there we go. Okay, just needed the ID. That's fine. So now if I select nice, I can select it there. Perfect. If I go to compromise, nice is now selected. Excellent. Now if I go to the dashboard, which I should create a link for, so I will do that. I really need to stop. We will just add it here as dashboard, and this is only going to show up if user. So now I can go back to the dashboard, and we have a whole slew of things here to choose from. And just to give these things a bit more of a linky look, we'll go to our link class name, and we'll do text blue 500 underline offset 4. There we go. Now we can click here to compromise. We can see that we have that one selected. Nice. Dashboard. All good. If I log out, dashboard goes away and I'm able to log in or sign up. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Need to call it quits. I guess what we should do is first review our layout.tsx. We did try creating an intercepting route for search. I want to try again. We have added auth for customers and for admin, so I think we're good there. I don't know if we've moved our user checks to page.tsx, so we will do that, and we're going to check that our login and log out is working after pnpm build. And really after that, I think we would be able to try deploying this. And so there's a couple things I want to do with that. I would like to try doing self-hosting. So I've been reading up on Coolify and Hetzner quite a bit, so that's kind of the route that I'm leaning towards, but I do think that maybe Railway might be the way to go. But since there's no media really here, there's just a bunch of server actions, maybe Vercel is just the easiest way. But I might do, first, I'm going to try to work on the intercepting route in my free time, just to see if there's a way to get that working. If I can get that working, we'll come back to it. But if not, we'll do one episode where we're going to first remove Toaster. I just see it now. But we'll do a whole live stream where I will make sure that our authentication and authorization works even after building. So that's the plan there. And then move our user checks to page.tsx, verify all of that works, and then we'll come back to trying intercepting routes. And then after that, we will do a whole stream where I'll try a couple of different ways to deploy. So Vercel obviously probably being the easiest. First, of course, we'll want to make sure that everything builds fine. So I'll do next build and all of that. And then we'll try Vercel, we'll try Railway, and then I will try also Coolify. I have not self-hosted anything ever, so I'll be really interested to see how that works. A couple things that I need to figure out. hosted database. Is that going to be possible with Coolify? I know it's possible with Railway. I know it's possible with Vercel. Or do I need to use Mongo Atlas for it? Either way is fine. I have a database for this. I can just pull it right up. And then we'll just populate some data once we get started. So I'm excited to get a little bit further into this project, but it's nearing the end of what I'm really able to do. So what we may try doing, actually, and my dark mode came on and it's looking kind of gross, but we'll do a couple of modals here. So try modals, because I can also do a try intercepting route for login. AI read my mind there. So we will try that, and then honestly, we should also fix dark mode styles, because that just looks bad. All right, so I think that's a good place to stop. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. There are ways that you can support this channel, and the tutorials I do, these live streams I do, all of those are in the description. I've got a newsletter that I put out bi-weekly that goes over all the development news. Make sure you subscribe to that, because it can be tough to keep up with all of the different news from Vercel, from Next, from Payload, from Tailwind, from Railway, from Cloudflare, from everyone who is putting out all this news, and I seek to put all of it into one place that's easy to read, easy to digest. So make sure you subscribe to that, subscribe to this channel, and if you feel so compelled, there are ways that you can contribute financially to the success of this channel, and I appreciate each and every gift that I receive as well. So thank you for your support, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.